this morning, sun's a bit hazy, checking the forecast, things looking crazy. A storm on the horizon, the pressure is low, gotta get moving, put on a show. The news is all buzzing, state of alert, but we've got a plan, we're ready to work. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. See a little fire or a rising flood, we're a well-oiled machine, we're running in the mud. From the city hall meetings to the rescue teams, turning worst case scenarios into hopeful dreams. We're training the people, we're stocking the gear, we're the team you can count on when trouble is near. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. It's more than a job, it's a calling, you see. Prepared for the present and what's yet to be. Every second counts, we're ready to react for our communities. We're making an impact. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. Yeah, we're picking you up, we're ready to go. EMA, let's get this show on the road.
Let's do this, guys. Let's kick this can. Let's make it happen. Right now. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ron Tyler. I'm the president of Emergency Management Associates. We're coming to you from the Area Command, 392 miles west of Kitty Hawk Beach, North Carolina. We're coming on the air a little bit late because they had some more research to do. I'm coming on the air right now for all of you to know what's going on around you in the Pacific Northwest, down in the South Pacific, over in the Philippines, over in South America, over in Greece, literally all over the world. That's where we're going with this tonight. Be prepared, guys. We're going to take a little bit of a hike around the world today. First off, biggest thing that's happened today. Yesterday, we bombed out Iran again during the day. President Trump paid tribute to Iran because they attacked one of our helicopters flying off the Persian Gulf coast, and Iran attacked one of our helicopters and sent it to the ground. Both of our aviators on board that helicopter were rescued by an unmanned U.S. drone, a drone ship on the Persian Gulf. Both of them are fine now. We lost the helicopter, but both of those aviators are fine. As a result, President Trump attacked Iran last night, heavily attacked Iran. Then today, something else happened. Let's show you what happened here.
We begin this morning with Trey Yangst, who is live in Tel Aviv with the very latest on the war in Iran. Hi, Trey.
Yeah, hey guys, good morning. Overnight, the United States unleashed powerful strikes against the Iranian regime. CENTCOM says that Iranian military surveillance systems, along with communication systems and air defense sites across Iran, were hit. Speaking from the Situation Room, President Trump told Fox News that 49 Tomahawk missiles hit locations as close to 40 miles from the capital of Tehran. Positions were also targeted along the southwestern part of Iran. The president described the strikes as violent and vicious. Also, President Trump says top Iranian officials called him directly, asking him to stop the bombing. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth spoke before the strikes began.
Instead, they're going to have tap, tap, tap bombs dropping on key facilities in Iran from the United States of America. And that's not because we want to restart anything we don't have to restart. It's because the War Department is prepared to set the terms to ensure that we get the kind of deal President Trump expects.
Now, in response, the Iranians launched ballistic missiles and drones at Gulf countries, including Bahrain and Kuwait. The Jordanian army says they dealt with at least 20 Iranian ballistic missiles in the skies of their country. Today, the Iranian Foreign Ministry says the strikes overnight rendered the ceasefire practically meaningless. Guys?
Trey, as you just reported, we're going after military sites. But do you think we start going after leadership again in conjunction with the Israelis?
Look, President Trump is certainly leaving that option on the table. That is what I gathered from the conversation that I had with him last night. Remember, he was sitting alongside Vice President J.D. Vance, and Vance talked about the negotiation process. Remember, the priority here for the Trump administration is to get a good faith deal, and the vice president has been working overtime to do just that. But ultimately, if the Iranians are unwilling to give up their nuclear ambitions, open the Strait of Hormuz, and de-escalate across the region, President Trump says they're going to get hit with additional strikes. He even told me if they don't sign the deal on the table tonight, he will bomb the S out of them. And so it gives you a sense of the president's mindset right now. And if the Iranians are unwilling to make those concessions, then ultimately we are looking at more days of military action ahead. President Trump has a variety of options on the table. And when I spoke with him yesterday morning, he said he was getting closer to bombing Iranian power plants and bridges, which would be a major escalation. But the president is trying to escalate to de-escalate here. And that is exactly what we saw last night with these strikes by CENTCOM.
Yeah, Secretary Hegseth said that if we need to negotiate with bombs, we will negotiate with bombs. And that is what took place last night. Trey Yanks live for us in Tel Aviv. Trey, thank you so much. Let's bring in former Deputy National Security Advisor for Vice President Dick Cheney, Steve Yates. Steve, thank you for joining us. Great to see you. Assess what took place last night, where things stand today, and if more war is necessary to get to a pathway of peace.
I think President Trump has been very patient and prudent with the use of America's overwhelming force, chosen not to go in, invade, and occupy a country. And I think that's the right choice given where we've been in history. And we're really at a point where I think that it is necessary to stop framing this as a good faith deal. I think what we're looking for is a no-faith deal. We're looking for setting the terms so that we don't have to have trust about what the remnants of the Iranian regime will do, but we've demonstrated enough control that they will have to do what we have set out the terms to be. I think we're getting close to that, but I think the president may yet have to do a little bit more to secure the shoreline around the Gulf to make sure that the flow through the strait is something that is seen. One of the first rules of politics I've learned from TV, so it must be true, is that it's not enough to do good. You have to be seen doing good. So we need to see that flow. We need to see that we can help move vessels through with impunity. Then the card really has been taken from the Iranians' hand, and we've shown the world that truth.
Yeah, and you know, Steve, on that front, the president said yesterday that the U.S. has been conducting these secret missions since May that helped 200 ships with 100 million barrels of oil escape the Strait of Hormuz. He said we took out the other night 22 ships late at night with no lights. That's why oil is at $85 a barrel. I mean, there are analysts who say that oil prices should be much higher right now. So what is your take on the secret mission and the president's decision to announce it publicly right now?
Well, I like the idea. It's something I think a lot of us had been hoping for. The United States has amazing capabilities. It's wonderful to see that in action. And I think it's just one of those things where it just needs to be more. It's a step in the right direction. It's definitely the area of reassurance that global markets have needed, but I think it's also one the public needs. A lot of what we deal with in our own country is one of perception. And if the perception is that this conflict is going to affect affordability here, then we need to see something that changes the perception that there isn't a solution in the near future. And so I think changing the terms as perceived in the Strait, changing the terms as perceived with what's going on with the remnants of the regime, and frankly, if the Revolutionary Guard is the tallest pole in the tent for the remnants of the regime, then that needs to be degraded further if we're going to allow the people of Iran, who we don't see very much of in recent months,
I know. Even
for
with
them to actually step up.
Yeah, and even with the internet still somewhat back up and running, we need to see more of them and for them to potentially take charge in the future. The other notable element of something that was revealed by Trey Yangst was that the president said that he spoke directly with Iranian leadership in the Situation Room last night, who called him and told him to stop the bombing. Now, the Iranian side is now disputing that, but the president says that they called, he spoke directly, and they told him to stop. What's your take on that? Quickly, final thoughts here.
Well, it's one of the parts of President Trump's diplomacy that I enjoy the most. I mean, he just does things his own way. There haven't been presidents who have conducted this kind of conflict. And I really don't doubt that people have been able to call him. I mean, he seems ready, willing, and able to talk with whomever he chooses, when he chooses. That may give him advantages in trying to set these terms. But ultimately, I think it's going to be the demonstration of economic and military control that pushes us to a conclusion, whether it's a deal or just the facts on the ground. I think we're getting close.
Yeah, and Iran wanted to avoid another large-scale operation, but that may be what we are entering into. Once again, we'll have to wait and see.
Okay, that's where we're going to end this program report. However, I've got more information for you. Okay? This afternoon, President Trump went back on the air at another news conference. I'm going to show you the words he said. These are important words. These are very important words. Now, Juby Joe asked why Fox. Fox was the biggest network, I should say the biggest network, but the biggest correct report that I could find. I checked all the other mainstream media. Fox had the best report of all. Now, yes, there's been other dealings here with President Trump today. I'm going to show you what President Trump said earlier today. This is important. I'm going to read his words for you here. He posted them on the internet. He posted them on Truth Social. The major network has them as well. Based on the fact that the discussions with the Islamic Republic of Iran have been brought to the highest level of Iranian leadership and approved. Notice those words. President Trump has said these words and has taken the discussions that they've had in Pakistan with the negotiating teams. The words from the negotiating teams, the agreements have been to the highest level of Iranian leadership and have been approved. Okay? The negotiations have been approved. I have, as President of the United States, canceled the scheduled strikes and bombing against Iran this evening. We would have gone back to war officially very hard at 12 noon today. But President Trump was asked by Iran to cancel the bombings. They are coming to fruition here with the negotiations. And if those negotiations continue to pan out, then the war will be over. And President Trump said today that it looks like we may have an agreement later on, even tonight or tomorrow. Okay? He said the discussions and final points have been in both concept and great detail approved by all parties involved, including the United States, Israel, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Turkey, Pakistan, Bahrain, Kuwait, Jordan, Egypt, and others. The naval blockade will remain in full force and effect until this transaction is finalized. Time and place of the signing are to be announced shortly. Time and place of the signing of the final ceasefire agreement will be announced shortly. Sincerely, President Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America. Those are the words of the President earlier today. Now, guys, I think this is serious. At least I hope that it's serious. Okay? I personally don't want our young men and young women over in harm's way, over in Iran, because Iran is ruthless. Iran, I don't believe, can be trusted. That's my honest opinion. They cannot be trusted. That's a key element here, trust. Okay? Trust. Even President Trump said that in a news conference today. Trust. They can't be trusted. Until they come to the negotiation tables, decide to come here to the United States or another country to sign an agreement, then the war will still go on. President Trump bombed the crap at him yesterday, and then the Iranians called him and came to an agreement with the United States that this would end. President Trump canceled the bombing today, but he said earlier that he will bomb the S out of them if this doesn't come to fruition. Those are President Trump's words. He will bomb the S out of them. Okay? As you heard Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of War, the United States is willing and able to carry this forward. We have the best military in the world. We have the best equipment in the world as well. If Iranians don't get here hot and know we are serious, then we will be bombing the S out of them. That's his words. His words. Okay? Now, with that, I'm not going to talk about Iran anymore tonight unless questions come up. Okay? But this is normal. This is normal. Okay? Alan Newton is here in the chat saying, because Fox is normal. I agree. Fox is normal. They're probably the best out of all the mainstream media that's around. Okay? Both their short-term Fox, which is Fox Live now, and the regular broadcast, they're spot on. They're spot on. Now, given that, I'm not going to talk about Iran at all today, later today on this broadcast. What I want to do is this. I want to go back and talk about the Philippines. The Philippines is still getting hammered. The Philippines are still getting hammered with earthquakes. Look at this. About 60 earthquakes have hit the Philippines. These are aftershocks. These are aftershocks that have happened today. Okay? Now, I'm going to move this over to the right here. I'm going to put up the USGS map here now. I want you to see exactly what they're showing us here. They're showing us garbage. They're showing us garbage, guys. The USGS cannot even be truthful at all. They can't be truthful. Okay? They never have been. They never have been. These are all the earthquakes the USGS is saying we're having today. This is trash, guys. This is utter trash. They're showing us this earthquake here, which is a 4.8 moderate earthquake. 4.8 moderate earthquake. This earthquake here is a 4.9, 5.0. This earthquake is a 5.5. A 5.5 very large earthquake. 5.5 very large earthquake. It happened at 10:21 last night. 10:21 p.m. last night. This earthquake was a 5.4. This happened at 11:03 p.m. last night. 5.4 large earthquake. This is a 5.1. This earthquake occurred today at 7:46 a.m. this morning. This is a 5.0. Also happened just after 1:38 a.m. this morning. 5.0 large earthquake. This earthquake again was a 4.9, 5.0. This earthquake further to the south here is a 5.1 earthquake. 5.1 earthquake. Happened last night at 7:26 p.m. This earthquake is a 4.6 earthquake here. Happened today at 12:09 p.m. this afternoon. This is a 4.6 earthquake here. These are not the only earthquakes that happen. I want to let you understand that. These are absolutely not the only earthquakes that have happened. This earthquake right here, just south of Serenagani Island, is a 4.8 moderate earthquake. 4.0, 4.9 are moderate earthquakes. Tracy Unger is here from New Zealand. I'm going to show you information from New Zealand in just a few minutes. I'm glad you're here, Tracy. Thank you. Okay. Yes, we do talk about New Zealand all the time. We're the only agency here that does that. We're the only agency here on YouTube that does that. We talk about all over the world, literally all over the world. Now, let's go back to the EMSC map here. Look at all these earthquakes here. These are all 3.0, 3.9, 4.0, 4.9, 5.0 to 5.9 earthquakes. All of these. Yes, 5.0 to 5.9 earthquakes that have happened today. 5.9 earthquakes have happened today, guys. Okay? USGS still doesn't want us to understand what's going on here. They never do. They lie, and do more lies. Them not telling us the truth is a lie. Not bringing forth the truth is a lie. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Now, someone asked me a while back, why do you call USGS liars? Because they are. If you don't tell us the truth, you are lying to the public. Completely out and out lying to the public. Okay? I hate doing this. I was someone that was on USGS's bandwagon for years and years. During the past 6 years, I've fallen off USGS's bandwagon because, again, they have not told us the truth. USGS is going to get someone killed. Mark my words. USGS doing what they're doing is going to get someone killed. I promise you. If they have not already gotten people killed, they're going to do it. Them not telling us the truth is going to get people killed. Okay? Let's go over here to Japan. USGS has showed us 2 earthquakes here. One right here between Hokkaido, Japan, and Honshu, Japan here. Out here in the Pacific Ocean. This is a 4.2 moderate earthquake here. 4.2 moderate earthquake in the ocean. USGS has shown us this 4.4 here. Off the coast of Ofunato, Japan. Guess what? Again, they're not telling us the truth at all. There are 4 earthquakes here in Japan. Why am I talking about it? Because we have people in Japan that watch this program. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. We have many people watch this program from Japan, and I'm going to tell you what's happening here in Japan. Okay, I'm going to my map and opening up the map right now. Four earthquakes in Japan. Okay, let's show you this. This is a 3.7 minor earthquake. Or I mean, not minor, 3.7 small earthquake here. Just barely off of Hokkaido. Just barely off of Hokkaido, Japan. This one is a 3.7 that the Europeans have determined to be a 3.7. USGS has this as a 4.2 here. That this earthquake as a 4.2 right there. European agencies calling that a 3.7 small earthquake. Then just off the northeast coast of Japan, you don't see this earthquake on the USGS map. This is a 3.7 earthquake here. 3.7 earthquake there. Then we have another earthquake here. We have another earthquake here. This is a 4.4 earthquake. Both USGS and European agency acknowledge this earthquake here. 4 total earthquakes in Japan. USGS shown us 2. Unreal. Uncut, big and real. Now let's go north here. Let's go north here. Off the southeast coast of, well, actually almost the central coast, Kamchatka Peninsula, Russia here. Kamchatka Peninsula, Russia here. This is a 4.9 5.0 earthquake. 4.9 5.0 earthquake. Interesting to know. Interesting to know. Guess what? USGS has this as a 5.4 earthquake. USGS has this a the EMSC European Agency has this is a 5.4 earthquake. Larger earthquake than a 4.9, right? Yes, it is. Much larger. Much larger, guys. Then just barely to the north of there. USGS has this south of there. This is a 4.1 here. 4.1 here, but the European agency is saying this is a 4.6 just north of that 5.4 earthquake here. Okay? That's a difference here. That's a difference here. USGS is calling this as a 4.1. This is a 4.6 motor earthquake here. Then there's another earthquake northwest of there. This is a 4.6 here. 4.6 here. Then one other here as well. Southwest of there. Also another 4.6 earthquake here. Again, the United States Geological Survey is not showing any of this here at all. None of it. None of it. Then one other earthquake also on the fault zone. See the plate here? The Pacific plate is meeting the obtuse plate here. The obtuse plate. Okay? Over here on the west side of the Kamchatka Peninsula, we have the Sea of Okhotsk. Over here on this side of Kamchatka Peninsula, this is where the Pacific plate meets the Okhotsk plate. Here on that meeting place, on the edge of the plate here, this is another 4.6 earthquake here. Okay, just several months ago. Several months ago here, guys, what happened? We had all kinds of moderate earthquakes, 4.0, 4.9. We had quite a few 5.0 and larger earthquakes. We had several 6.0 to 6.9 earthquakes. Then all of a sudden we had a good many 7.0 to 7.9 major earthquakes in the same location. Then just barely north of there. Just barely north of there right here. Okay? We had what USGS determined to be an 8.8 earthquake. I've discussed this many times. USGS determined that to be an 8.8 earthquake. It was not. When that earthquake happened, I showed you all the data. This was a 9.4 major earthquake. Not an 8.8 major earthquake, but a 9.4 major earthquake. Over half magnitude downgrade from what USGS had it. It was a 9.4 earthquake, guys, not an 8.8. USGS downgrades everything because they don't want anybody to know what's going on. That earthquake here, that 9.4 earthquake, was a complete plate rupture here. A complete plate rupture. Now, guys, all the plates around the world meet up just like this. They're tight. What's holding all the plates together? Tension, friction. Friction, guys. Dirt, grime, gravel, rock, biological materials holding these plates together. All of a sudden, when we have a planetary alignment or even a solar eruption on the sun, and the plasma radiation heats up, comes over through space and hits the Earth, heats up the plates and heats up the fault zones around the world, all of a sudden we have earthquakes. Why? Because all that biological material, all that dirt and grime, sand, rock, and everything else, when that plasma radiation reaches the Earth, it heats up all that crap there that's been holding the plates in place, heats up all that crap, and all of a sudden, that crap turns into an oily, greasy-like substance, which allows the plates to more freely move like this. They move like this. In this case, at the Okhotsk and Pacific plate, the plates separated. A full plate rupture here. A full plate rupture here. That's what happened. That's what happened. Full plate rupture, a 9.4 earthquake. Here at the Sea of Okhotsk or not Sea of Okhotsk, but the Okhotsk plate and the Pacific plate. Okay? I'm trying to explain to you what's happened here. This is important to understand. Since that happened, we've had all kinds of earthquakes here. Probably over 100 earthquakes here, maybe more. Maybe more. 100 earthquakes here so far, probably a lot more. All of that seismic energy is still locked up in this area. Some of it has passed over here and has gone north up the plate, up the edge of the fault, and gone over here into the Aleutian Islands. Right here. This is a large 5.0 earthquake. This 5.0 energy erupted here on the western part of the Aleutian Island fault area. The Aleutian Island ridge here. Also the edge of the plate here in the Aleutian Island chain. Edge of the tectonic plate here. Okay? Now, some of that energy's also gone over here to the east here. A couple months ago, we had a lot of earthquakes right here. 139 miles southwest of Attu Island. Attu Island is right here. Attu Island is right here. Those earthquakes were over here 139 miles southeast of Attu Island. We had a 6.6 earthquake here. 6.6 earthquake here. Earthquakes are still going through here. Earthquakes are still going through the Aleutian Island fault area. We go over here to the Rat Island area here. Earthquakes here today. 2.3 minor earthquake, but it's not all, folks. There's more. This is a small 3.4. Small 3.4. This earthquake was a 2.3 minor earthquake. This is a 3.4 small earthquake, larger than 2.3. This earthquake is a 2.5 minor earthquake here. You can see other minor earthquakes, and you can also see tremors here. 1.9 tremor, 2.0 earthquake. Why do I call it 1.9 tremor, 2.0 earthquake? Because USGS has a habit of downgrading earthquakes to the nearest 0.9. I say the Pacific. I'm saying that the 0.9 society is alive and well. The 0.9 society is still alive and well here. This earthquake is a 3.6 small earthquake here. Then we come over here further, a little bit further to the east here. We have another 1.9, 2.0 earthquake here. And it goes forward over here to the east. A 3.5 small earthquake here. a 0.6 microquake here. That happens, unfortunately, all the time. All the time. This is a 1.5 tremor. This is a 1.1 tremor here. Okay? 1.0 tremor here. 3.5 small earthquake here. And it goes forward here. More earthquakes here. This is a 1.8 tremor here. Okay? This is just barely southwest of Boone, Alaska. Then we have another earthquake here, a 3.8 small earthquake here. Earthquake still going on here. That's because that seismic energies come off the obtuse plate and the Pacific plate off the southeast side of Kamchatka Peninsula has made its way to the east here. But this isn't all, guys. Some of that energy is still locked up here in the Aleutian Islands. Some of that energy is still locked up here in the Aleutian Islands. The large majority of that earthquake energy is also locked up here in Alaska itself, right in here. We have a great deal of energy, seismic energy, locked up here in the main part of Alaska right here. Locked up and loaded. Locked up and loaded. Now, we have a brand new earthquake here. This is near old Iliamna volcano here. This is red earthquake. It's a brand new earthquake. This is a 1.1 tremor here. Just a tremor at south of old Iliamna volcano here. We have many earthquakes here, not just this one. This is a 0.5 microquake here at old Iliamna volcano here, and one more right here. This is a 0.4 microquake here. You see the summit here of old Iliamna volcano? This volcano has not erupted for thousands of years. However, we've had many earthquakes as of the last year or so. Many earthquakes have hit old Iliamna volcano. Old Iliamna volcano is a lake. However, that lake has also been steaming once in a while. Why? Because there's active magma down there at the bottom of the lake. Active magma just below the bottom of the lake. That makes that water a little bit warmer than the surrounding air. That's why that lake steams. Hot magma down beneath the bottom of this volcano here. That happens. That happens. All kinds of earthquakes up here to the north here. USGS not showing hardly anything going on here. They're hardly showing anything here in Denali National Park at all. One earthquake up here in northern Denali. This is a 2.1 earthquake. And USGS doesn't even say this is in Denali National Park. It's in North Denali National Park. They say it's 15 kilometers north of Cantwell, Alaska. It's not. USGS, again, doesn't want to detail exactly what's going on here. Heaven forbid they say what is actually happening here. They never do. This is a 1.5 tremor here. This is a 1.5 tremor here. Going north here. Southwest of Fairbanks, Alaska here. This is a 2.6 minor earthquake here. 25 kilometers northwest of 4 Mile Road, Alaska. 4 Mile Road, Alaska. Two more earthquakes here. This is the 1.2, 25 miles north of 4 Mile. This earthquake here is a 2.3 minor earthquake, 26 miles north of 4 Mile, Alaska. Interesting, huh? It is. It's very interesting. Now again, yesterday, right up here, near Village, Alaska here, we had a 2.8 minor earthquake here. It was at the Arctic Circle here. This whole area is considered to be the Arctic Circle here in Alaska. 2.8 minor earthquake right here yesterday. We talked about it. Now, let's go down here to Vanuatu. Vanuatu today, guys. This earthquake happened earlier today. A lot earlier today. 5.0 large earthquake. 5.0 large earthquake here. Right here. This is interesting, guys. 4.8 moderate earthquake here, south of the Fiji Islands. Going north here. This time we are at 175 kilometers southwest of Humatonga. Humatonga here. Interesting. 175 kilometers southwest of Humatonga. Fabulous. Just fabulous, guys. Interesting. Very interesting. We come further south here. This is the 4.6 earthquake here. Also south of the Fiji Islands here. Okay? Interesting to note here. It's not these are not the only earthquakes here. There are more. There are more, guys. Unfortunately, there are more. Because USGS can't get its act together. USGS cannot get its act together. South of there. South of the Fiji Islands here. This is a 4.6 earthquake. Well, guess what? South of there, there's also a 5.08 large earthquake there. 5.0 large earthquake there. USGS, why in heck are you not showing this large earthquake here? USGS does sometimes miss an earthquake, but this is twice in a row already this week that they missed 5.0 large earthquakes. They missed about a dozen 5.0 large earthquakes south of the Philippines earlier this week. This is a second other 5.0 earthquake in other places where they missed it. Another large earthquake south of the Fiji Islands here. Large earthquake. They missed it. Totally missed it. Then we go south of Kermadec Islands here. North of New Zealand here. Yes, the Kermadec Islands here are bird sanctuary. Nobody lives in these islands. They're a bird sanctuary only. These Kermadec Islands are surrounded by undersea volcanic rifts. Undersea volcanic rifts. Those volcanic rock below the ocean surface, if any boats got near them, they'd tear those boats up and the boats would sink. As a result, the only time anyone goes over there is either at high tide or by helicopter to check on the birds. By helicopter to check on the birds. South of the Kermadec Islands here, we have a 3.7 small earthquake here. South of there, this is a 4.16 moderate earthquake. USGS is not showing any of this at all either. Absolutely nothing. Not a cotton picking thing. Then as we get near the Bay of Plenty here, the Bay of Plenty, this is a 3.01 earthquake here, just north of the Bay of Plenty here. We go south, this is along the Fiji Rib Zone, the Fiji Ridge here coming out of Fiji. This is a 2.3 minor earthquake here. 2.3 minor earthquake here. Now I'm just going to go briefly to the southeast here. This is a 2.2 minor earthquake here. 2.2 minor earthquake right there. This earthquake is a 2.84 minor earthquake there. Just up the coast of New Zealand there. Then We go back into the Bay of Plenty right here. This is a 2.44 earthquake there. 2.44 minor earthquake here in the northern Bay of Plenty there. Then we go full bore into the Bay of Plenty here. This is a 3.04 small earthquake here. 3.04 small earthquake there. Aubrey, welcome. We appreciate you being here. Thank you for being here. Yes, Linda, I'm coming on the air a little bit later tonight because I was in the midst of finding out more information for my research for all of you tonight. That's why I was late coming on the air. I explained that when I first came on the air tonight. Now we're going into New Zealand here. USGS never shows earthquakes here. Almost never. Occasionally they may show one earthquake right between the North and South Island here in the Cook Strait here. This body of water between the North and South Island of New Zealand is the Cook Strait. Guess what? Why are they not showing these other earthquakes? Why are they not showing these other earthquakes? This one is on land near Pairoa, New Zealand. Near Pairoa, New Zealand. This is a 2.71 minor earthquake here. 2.71 minor earthquake here. Right there. Right there, guys. There you see Pairoa right there. Then we go southwest. Southwest of the volcano down here. This is Topo volcano here. Topo Lake is Topo volcano. A super volcano here on the North Island of New Zealand, in the center of the island. Just southwest of Topo Lake here, Topo volcano. We have another 2.38 earthquake right here. 2.38 minor earthquake right there. Okay. Then we go over the east side of the island here. We go over the east side of the island right here. Offshore this time. Offshore this time. This is near Porangahau, New Zealand. Offshore Porangahau, New Zealand. This is a 2.23 earthquake. 2.23 earthquake here. Now, guys, I mentioned this last night, maybe the night before. I'm going to mention it again. Everybody needs to understand what's going on here. Hold on a second. My mouse stopped working. Give me a second. I'll replace the battery real. This doesn't happen very often at all. We're going to replace these batteries here in just a quick second here. As I told you in the past, I keep batteries here in my desk so I can replace batteries throughout our house here. I replace batteries through our house from here. We have a huge supply of batteries here. A huge supply of batteries here. I have C batteries, I have D cell batteries, I have AA, AAA batteries here. I also have 9-volt batteries here as well. Why? Because we want to be able to communicate with all of you. We want to be able to communicate with all of you. We have flashlights that take C and D batteries. We have flashlights that take AA and AAA batteries here. We want to be able to communicate with you. That's why we have all these at our leisure here. Okay? But again, this is not the only earthquake that had here. Okay, there we go. Again, USGS is still not showing us all the earthquakes here at all. Unfortunately. Over south of this volcano, over to the southwest here, off the coast right here. This is a 2.52 minor earthquake there. 2.52 minor earthquake just south of this volcano here. Offshore in the Cook Strait here. Going further south here, all in the Cook Strait, just north of the South Island here. This is a 2.3 minor earthquake here. 2.3 minor earthquake there. Further out here to the southwest or southeast here, just offshore from the North Island, this is a 2.87 minor earthquake. 2.87 minor earthquake here. Okay. Right here. 2.87 minor earthquake there. Now, guys, I want to back this out just a little bit. I want to show you what we have here. That earthquake fault coming out of Fiji, guess where it is? Right there. That's why we have this earthquake right here. Right smack dab on that Fiji ridge here. That Fiji ridge. Now, again, off the east side of the North Island here. See this earthquake fault coming out of Tonga? This earthquake here, this earthquake fault right here, this edge of the plate here is going to be responsible for an 8.0 major earthquake here in the next 25 years. Scientists are saying that the North Island of New Zealand will be hit with a major megathrust earthquake here because the Pacific plate is subducting under the Indo-Australian plate here. That's what's going to happen here. During the past couple of years, we've seen more and more earthquakes here on the eastern shores of the North Island. Those earthquakes, I believe, are going to continue. They're going to continue here. Now, let's go back here to the South Island here. Let's go back here to the South Island here. Right up here, near Auckland, New Zealand. Thorpe, New Zealand. 2.2 minor earthquake here. 2.2 minor earthquake there. Thorpe, New Zealand. Down here on the east side, again, near the Tonga Ridge here, this is a 2.3 earthquake there. 2.3 earthquake right there. Okay? .3 earthquake right there. Then we go south again. Go south again. This time back over to the west side of the island here. The west side of the island right here. This is Kakapotahi, Kakapotahi, New Zealand. I know I'm butchering that, you guys from New Zealand. I'm butchering, I know, because I don't speak your language. Yes, you guys speak English down here, but I don't know the pronunciations of your towns here. This is Kakapotahi, New Zealand, a 3.1 small earthquake right there. 3.1 small earthquake there. It's on the earthquake fault here. It's on the Tonga Trench here on the South Island of New Zealand here. Then we go all the way back down to the southwest side of the island here. All the way back down here. Southland, New Zealand here. Southland, New Zealand right here. Okay? This is a 2.66 minor earthquake here. 2.66 minor earthquake. The earthquakes here on the island of New Zealand are typically 2.0 to 3.5 earthquakes. Occasionally, we will get 3.5, 3.7, 3.9 earthquakes here. And yes, occasionally, we even get 4.0, 4.5 mod earthquakes here. Mod earthquakes. Those earthquakes usually occur over here in the Cook Strait here. The 4.0 plus earthquakes occur in the Cook Strait here. Yes, occasionally we will see a mod earthquake here on the North Island here, and especially out here north of the North Island here. That's usually where we see the mod earthquakes here. Those are off land here. And off land, those earthquakes don't mean a hill of beans because the ocean waters here absorb the shock waves from the quakes. That's what happens here. That's what's happening here in New Zealand today. Okay? That's what's going on. Any questions about New Zealand? Hi, Laura Marie. We appreciate you being here. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you here. Give me just a second. It's hotter than blazes here. Outside, it's been 92 degrees. We have the air conditioning on. I believe our air conditioners malfunction here. We have our fan here in my studio offices here, and it's hotter than blazes here. Even with the fan here, I'm mopping my brow of sweat. It's hot. Very, very hot. Now, I want to take you over here to South America here. Off the coast of Central South America here. Off the coast of Chile here. They have 3 earthquakes here. Actually, more than that. 5 earthquakes here. Guys, this is a 5.2 earthquake. Not to be outdone, but this is a large earthquake here. I'm sorry, it's wrong. This is a 5.5 large earthquake there. Sorry, this is a 5.5 here. This is a 5.1. This is a 5.2. This is a 4.3 mod earthquake here. This is a 4.4. These earthquakes are off the coast of Vallenar, Chile. Off the coast of Vallenar, Chile. But what USGS is not doing, they're also not acknowledging another earthquake here. They're not acknowledging another earthquake right here. This is southeast of Easter Island. Southeast of Easter Island. This is a 4.85 earthquake here. 4.85 earthquake, USGS is not even showing it here. Nothing. Not a thing. Sad. Sad. They don't want to even show us what's going on here in the ocean here. They're failing here, guys. They're failing. On the southwestern coast of Chile here in Argentina. Over here at San Juan Province, Argentina, we have a 2.72 earthquake. 2.72 minor earthquake. Guys, like I said, there's a lot more earthquakes than that. There's 20 earthquakes right here in this region here. Central Chile, Argentina area here. In the Andes Mountains. All these earthquakes are either offshore or in the mountains here, the Andes Mountains. Okay? Then we go north. Actually, there's more than 20 earthquakes here, guys. We have 3, 4, 6. With 3, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, and remember us showing you these 5 earthquakes here? Guess what? There's a lot more than that. There's a lot more than that. Look at all these earthquakes here. This is what I'm saying. USGS is not even telling us what's going on here. This one farther out in the Pacific, this is a 4.35 earthquake. 4.35 earthquake. USGS doesn't show anything like that. We go further to the southeast here, a 4.3 earthquake here. 4.3 earthquake. This is a 5.5 earthquake here. There's a 5.2 earthquake right there. Interesting, huh? We're not done. Europeans are showing that 5.5 right there. So USGS is not showing this 5.2 right there. Interesting. This is the 5.1 right there. Look at all these other moderate earthquakes here. They're not showing any of these at all. Nothing. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 other earthquakes besides the large earthquakes. 14 other earthquakes here besides the large earthquakes here. USGS is showing us 2 other earthquakes. That's all. 14 earthquakes here offshore. Offshore, guys. Offshore. Not to include all these other earthquakes here. Okay? 30 earthquakes right here. Central Chile, Argentina area. 40 earthquakes right there. Then we go north. Then we go north. Up here north, we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 21 earthquakes here. 21 earthquakes here. That means we have 61 earthquakes here in Chile alone. 61 earthquakes here in Chile alone. Incredible. This is the 3.4 small earthquake there. This is the 2.5 there. Up further to the north here, Tarapacá, Chile, this is the 3.3 small earthquake there. Okay? Let's go down to this earthquake fault separating Atacama from Tarapacá, Chile here. Antofagasta, Chile, 3.3 earthquake there. South there, 2.5. Down southeast over here on the summit of mountains here, summit of the mountain, 3.2 small earthquake here. Going over here to the east, Jujuy, Argentina, 4.0 earthquake here. They're not even showing that. They're not even showing that here, guys, right here. They're not even showing any of those earthquakes here at all. Nothing. 4.0 earthquake in Jujuy, Argentina. Further south here is another 3.1. I'm not going to show you all the earthquakes. I'm not going to tell you what all the earthquakes are, but you can get my drift here. 3.0, 4.0 earthquakes here. They're not being honest with us. 61 earthquakes here in Chile alone. In Chile by itself. Then we go up here further north. Nothing in Ecuador. Nothing in Peru here. We go over here into Colombia. Colombia here, guys. Just south of Panama right there. This is a 3.0 earthquake right there. 3.0 small earthquake right there. Going up here further north, Santander, Colombia area. Santander, Colombia area. We have a 2.50 minor earthquake. Just southwest of there, a 2.3 earthquake there. They're not showing anything like that here on the USGS map, are they? Not a thing. Not a darn thing. Further north, Valledupar, Colombia, 3.0 small earthquake. Off to the southeast here, Near, this is northeast of Meridia, Columbia, 2.6. Going north here, this is a 2.4. Then one other earthquake, or actually several other earthquakes over here in Venezuela. Over here in Venezuela here. That's a 1.7 tremor. Just south of there, near San Carlos, Venezuela, is a 2.7 minor earthquake. 2.7 here. Going further over here to the east. Interesting, because they again are not showing anything here at all. Right here. Right in this area right here. This is near Carabobo, Venezuela. 3.6 earthquake right there. 3.6 earthquake right there. Okay. Just south there is a 2.2. Southwest of there is another 2.1 minor earthquake. Interesting. Interesting that they don't want to show that to us. Why not? Why not? Guys, it's sad. It's very sad. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 earthquakes here in Colombia and Venezuela. 41 earthquakes over, actually 61 earthquakes over in Chile. They don't want to take responsibility for. A total of 70 earthquakes here in South America. 9 in Colombia, or actually not 9, but 5 in Colombia, and 4 over here in Venezuela. They don't want to tell us about. Linda Covington says, looking for the birds. Yeah, I am too. I'm looking for the birds. East of Venezuela, northeast of Venezuela, near an island here in the Atlantic Ocean. There's a 2.6 earthquake right there. 2.6 minor earthquake there. Then I want to go over here to US and British Virgin Islands here. I want to go over here to the US and British Virgin Islands right there. Down to the south here. USGS is showing us this 4.0 earthquake here near Christiansted, US Virgin Islands here. 4.04 earthquake there. Then we go north. They're not showing this earthquake at all. 3.8 earthquake right there. One more earthquake here as well. This is a 3.1 earthquake here. I believe USGS has this as a 3.3 here. Europeans have this as a 3.31. 3.31. USGS has it as a 3.3. So they're not showing they're not showing but one earthquake there. 2 earthquakes. Going north here. This is a 3.1 earthquake there. Northeast of Cruz Bay, US Virgin Islands. Going to the northwest here. Okay, I showed this near Cruz Bay. This just happened. This is a 4.02 earthquake. 4.02 earthquake here. This happens to be 58 miles north of Culebre, Puerto Rico. Culebre is a tourist island, an uninhabited island here in the Caribbean Sea here. An uninhabited island here in the Caribbean Sea here. One of my friends has a sailboat. They visited here about 2 years ago. This is a 4.02 earthquake here, north of Cruz Bay, Puerto Rico. Now then we want to go over here north of central Puerto Rico here. North of central Puerto Rico here. This is a 2.7 earthquake here. 2.7 earthquake. Then we go over here to northeast or southeast of Puerto Rico right here. Southeast of Puerto Rico right here. Guys, this is a 2.1 earthquake here. 2.1 earthquake. These earthquakes have nothing to do with these other two earthquakes in southwestern Puerto Rico today. However, these two earthquakes right here, there was a third one here, they've taken it down. These two earthquakes right here in southwestern Puerto Rico have a lot to do with each other. These two earthquakes are aftershocks of two major earthquakes that happened here, December 26th and December 28th, 2019. Two man-made major earthquakes, 8.0 and 8.6, 8.4, I'm sorry, 8.0 and 8.4 earthquakes happened on December 26th and December 28th, 2019. Major earthquakes. These major earthquakes left these aftershocks here. Aftershocks here. 6.5 years later. 6.5 years later. This is a 2.1 minor earthquake here. This is a 2.2 earthquake here. This 2.2 earthquake here is 3 kilometers, a mile and a half southeast of Taliboa, Puerto Rico. This is southeast of Ponce, Puerto Rico. Southeast Ponce, Puerto Rico. Guys, we still are having aftershocks, minor earthquakes, but still aftershocks of two major earthquakes that happened here 6.5 years ago. December 26th and December 28th, two major 8.0 and 8.4 earthquakes here caused by men. Caused by men here. Now I'm going to show you this note here. I like to show these notes because I want everybody to understand what happened here. What happened here that day, those 2 days. These people right here. Please do not put this abbreviation in the chat. I don't want YouTube to take us down. This organization right here lit up 3 facilities, one in Norway, one in Russia, and one in northeastern Australia. One in Norway, one in Russia, and one in northeast Australia. They lit these facilities up on December 26th and December 28th. They triangulated Puerto Rico, causing 8.4 and 8.6 earthquakes to happen here. Man-made earthquakes, doing major destruction. Major destruction. Those 2 earthquakes devastated homes here in Puerto Rico. Those 2 earthquakes also caused a natural arch here, natural sandstone arch here in Puerto Rico to go broke, to crash here in Puerto Rico. Right here. There was a sandstone arch here, guys, near La Porguera, Puerto Rico. A major sandstone arch like you see in Arches National Park, Utah, along the beach here. When that 8.6 earthquake hit, it took down that sandstone arch, completely turned it to rubble. Completely turned it to rubble here. That's what happens when men mess with nature. That's what happens when men mess with nature. 2 8.0 earthquakes hit southwestern Puerto Rico, December 26th and December 28th, totally devastating the region. Totally devastating the region. Yeah. I'm still pissed about it. I have friends here in Puerto Rico. I have some very good friends here in Puerto Rico. Very, very close friends. We had another 4.0 earthquake here in Puerto Rico 40 minutes ago. I told you about that earthquake here just a few minutes ago. Now I have another friend near Guanilla, Puerto Rico here. He's the captain of the Puerto Rican Police Department. He should be nearing retirement very soon. His name is Dominic. Several years ago after this earthquake hit, we talked to Dominic several times on the air. I have another friend over here in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Near San Juan, Puerto Rico here. He worked with me in San Diego. Very, very close friend of mine here in San Diego, from San Diego. I haven't talked to him in a very long time. I'm not going to mention his name without talking to him. But he worked with me as a police officer in San Diego. Very, very close friend of mine. His mother got sick here in Puerto Rico. He flew back to San Juan, and I believe he's still here in Puerto Rico today. Very, very close friend of mine. I love him very much. Love both of these men very much. Guys, when that earthquake hit, it knocked out electricity throughout the islands. When those earthquakes hit, it knocked out electricity to the island of Puerto Rico. Damaged homes, damaged businesses, and flattened buildings here. Flattened them here in southern Puerto Rico. There was no excuse for it. Men tampered with nature. They triangulated radio waves here in southwestern Puerto Rico, and destroyed this country. Destroyed this country here. Very sad. Very sad. Now, right before Hurricane Maria hit Puerto Rico several years back, right off the northwestern coast here, we had a 6.6 earthquake here. Since that earthquake has hit, we've had numerous aftershocks. So far, in the last 2 months, we've had no more aftershocks from that earthquake. None at all. None at all. Okay? But occasionally we still get earthquakes here. Now, does anybody have any questions for me as to what's going on here, either in Puerto Rico, South America, down in the Philippines, or even in New Zealand? We cover those earthquakes. Always do. Always do. Going over here to the pneumatic fault, we talked about the pneumatic fault the other day. I showed you earthquakes are hitting here. Right here today. 2 more earthquakes that USGS has mentioned here. This again is a 1.4 tremor here on the northeastern side of the pneumatic fault here in northwestern Kentucky, or Tennessee, northwestern Tennessee, Ridgely, Tennessee, guys. This is a 1.4 tremor here near Ridgely, Tennessee here. This earthquake south there, this time on the western side of the pneumatic fault here in Missouri, Steele, Missouri, 1.8 tremor, guys. I can guarantee you they have more than just these tremors here. They have bigger earthquakes here than just the tremors. The other day I showed you minor earthquakes. I showed you small earthquakes here. And yes, we've had upwards of 4.5 and 4.7 earthquakes here in Missouri during this past month, during the month of May. In the past 3 years, we've gone from having just tremors here, anywhere here along the pneumatic fault, ranging in size from over here in Louisiana having just tremors, Mississippi having tremors here, going up here into Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, Missouri, not just having tremors here. But 2 years ago, those tremors began to be minor earthquakes, 2.0 to 2.9. Since that time, we've had 3.0 to 3.9 earthquakes here as well. Arkansas, Tennessee, Missouri here, going up here into Illinois. going up here into Illinois, the northern part of the Pneumatic Fault. Northern part of the Pneumatic Fault here. This week I showed you 2.5, 3.0, and 3.5 earthquakes happening here in Decatur, Illinois. In Decatur, Illinois. Earthquakes happening here in Indiana. And even over here into Iowa as well. Iowa as well, guys. Iowa as well. Unreal, guys. Uncut and picking real here. Earthquakes over here in Iowa because of the Pneumatic Fault. Tabor, Iowa. Tabor, Iowa here. Southeastern Iowa. Unreal. Earthquakes happen. Earthquakes can continue happening here in southwestern Texas. They're happening in Southern California here. San Diego. Over here in Southern California here. Right up here. Johannesburg, Southern California. In the Mojave Desert. Going up to Ridgecrest here. Sills Valley. Going up here into Koza Volcano here. Koza Volcano here. This is huge volcanic field here, guys. Huge volcanic field. The magma is still going here beneath this Koza Volcano field. We have a 1.4 tremor here in Koza Volcanic Field today. Unreal, huh? It really is. Brand new earthquake, by the way. Brand new earthquake, 1.4 tremor here in the Koza Volcanic Field. Now we have all kinds of earthquakes along the San Andreas Fault going up here towards San Francisco. This is a 2.4 minor earthquake here. Southeast of Monterey Bay in the Pinnacles. The Pinnacles. This area is called the Pinnacles, but it's also here that they have oil and gas pumping operations on the San Andreas Fault. That's why we have earthquakes here. A 2.4 minor earthquake hit here today. USGS is not telling us about all the other earthquakes here. They never do. Going up here on the eastern side of San Francisco Bay. Alamo, California. 1.1 tremor here. 1.4 here in Pleasant Hill, California here. This earthquake is just between Hayward and the Calaveras Fault. This earthquake is also right between the Hayward and the Calaveras Fault here. Here, guys, is the Hayward Fault right here. Running alongside San Francisco Bay here. Okay? Unreal, guys. Unreal. Now, guys, this is also in the Calaveras Fault Zone. This is in the Calaveras Fault Zone. Southern Calaveras Fault Zone, guys. Okay. Calaveras section, Southern Calaveras Fault. Again, this is also on the Calaveras Fault here. 1.4 tremor here. Okay. Going north. This is completely different. This is just northwest of Santa Rosa, near Roseland, California. 1.5 tremor. Right here, all these earthquakes belong to this lake here, belong to this volcano. This, guys, is a huge, huge facility here. Huge facility here. Brand new earthquake here. This is in the geysers facility here. This is geothermal facility here where men have dug into the upper magma chambers of the Clear Lake volcano here to obtain steam from the Clear Lake volcano to power turbines here in the geysers facility here to generate electricity for four energy conglomerates. For four energy conglomerates, including Rocky Mountain Power in Utah. Yes, Rocky Mountain Power has tapped into the geysers facility here for electricity. Now, guys, I want to make it very clear. There are turbines all over this area here. Turbines all over the geysers facility here. These turbines are powered by the geothermal energy from the volcano. I'm just scrolling through here to try to find one of the, there it is right there, right there. This is one of the turbine facilities here. There are a total of 81 different turbines in the geysers facility. This is just one of here. This is a total of 9 turbines right here. 9 turbines in this facility right here. Over here, just here to the northwest here, right here. See this road here? On the other side of the trees from the turbine facility? This is where men have drilled into the upper magma chambers of the Clear Lake volcano to obtain steam. This is a fingerprint here. This is a fingerprint. From here, from these little fingers here, where they dug into the magma chamber of the volcano, they obtained steam on the roadways here in the geyser facility. They have PVC pipe carrying the steam from the volcano over to the turbine facility that processes steam in the building here. And then they put it over here in the turbines to generate electricity. That's how they do it. That's how they do it. There are multiple footprints all throughout this facility here. Multiple footprints throughout this facility here. And like I said, there's a total of 9 different turbines in the geyser facility here. There's another one right there. There's another facility right there. Okay. Okay, I think I showed you that. There's another facility right there. There are turbines all over this whole mountain range here. This is Sonoma County, California. This is Sonoma Valley, California. This is wine country. Wine country here. Okay? But that's why we have all these earthquakes. Typically on any given day here in the geysers facility, we have anywhere from 20 to 50 earthquakes here in the geysers facility. As a result of the seismic energy coming off the Pacific plate, coming over here and finding the man-made earthquake faults, fracturing rock inside the man-made earthquake faults, causing earthquakes here in this facility. Most of these earthquakes are just tremors and minor earthquakes. But yes, occasionally we do get 3.0 to 3.5 earthquakes. And twice in the last 6.5 years, we've had 4.5 and 4.7 earthquakes here in the geysers facility. That's happened. That's happened. North of the Clear Lake volcano here, northwest of Clear Lake, this is the Redwood Valley, a 2.1 minor earthquake. Come up here further northwest, 2.0 earthquake here. 2.0 earthquake here. Now, this, I told you the San Andreas Fault starts over here off the coast, Northern California, runs all the way through California, comes over here, starts over here at what we call the triple junction. The triple junction with the Cascade subduction zone. This fault zone right here, the Gorda Escarpment right here, and the San Andreas Fault. The San Andreas Fault comes down here, goes along the coast of Northern California here, crosses the coast here, goes back out to sea here, back on the coastline and off the coast here, just west of San Francisco Bay. Then it continues here all the way down through California here, all the way down here through Southern California here into the Imperial Valley, here. 2 weeks ago, guys, we had a large earthquake here in the Imperial Valley, and subsequent aftershocks being 4.5, 3.0, 3.9, 2.0, 2.9, 1.0, 1.9 tremors here in the Imperial Valley. 300 of them. 300 aftershocks, guys. 300 aftershocks. The San Andreas Fault runs through the Imperial Valley, through northern Mexico, and down here into the Gulf of California. Runs all the way through the Gulf of California here, along the southern coast of southern Mexico, and down here to the intersection of the fault zone here, the major plate here, just off the coast of Central America. The Cocos Plate here. Meets the Cocos Plate here. That's huge. The San Andreas Fault here. Now I am specifically talking to you about this because now I'm going to talk about the Pacific Northwest, including the Cascade Subduction Zone. The Southern Cascade Subduction Zone includes the Gorda Escarpment here and northern San Andreas Fault here. On the Gorda Escarpment here, west of the Cascade Subduction Zone, we have a 2.8 minor earthquake here. We have a 2.8 minor earthquake here. West of the Cascade Subduction Zone. It's still in the Cascade Subduction Zone region here to the south. I want to make that clear. Notice here in Oregon, they're not showing but one earthquake. Here. This is a minus 0.4, earthquake. Now, why am I emphasizing that? Minus numbers are typically showing us that the earthquakes are above sea level. Guess what? This one is not above sea level at all. This is 8 kilometers east of Pistol River, Oregon. Earlier this week, we had a 3.9 earthquake right here, right next to the Cascade Subduction Zone, off the coast of Pistol River, Oregon. This earthquake today, a microquake supposedly, 0.4 microquake, is actually 6.2 kilometers deep. 6.2 kilometers deep. 3 miles deep. 3 miles deep. It's not a minus number at all. The Cascade Subduction Zone region is alive and well. But this is the only earthquake that USGS is showing here in Oregon. Nothing else. Not a thing. Not a blooming thing. Notice going up here to the north. Washington, guys. This is King City, Oregon. I'm sorry, this is just south of Washington border. King City, Oregon. 1.5 tremor here. 20.5 kilometers deep. over 5, maybe 6 miles deep. 6 miles deep. Going over here to Mount Hood. Mount Hood, guys, right here on the rim of Mount Hood, the rim of the volcano here. They say we have a 0.6 microquake here. Guess what? This is a semi-deep earthquake. This is over a mile deep. This is over a mile deep, over 2 kilometers deep here. deep into the volcano. This volcano is not 5,000 feet high. It's not 5,280 feet high. This is underneath the volcano, inside the volcano. Inside the volcano here at Mount Hood. Okay? Up here to the northeast here. Notice this earthquake here. USGS is recording this as an explosion. 1.6 explosion here. Interesting enough, look where it's at. Look where it's at. Guys, this is not a geyser area. This is not a quarry. Look at these tree areas here. It just happens to be a lake here. There is not an explosion in the lake here. USGS is saying this is a 1.6 explosion here. 1.6 tremor here. 1.6 tremor here. Now, guys, I have a feeling this is a lot more than that. Called spontaneous combustion carnivorous, an exploding tree. That's my theory. That's my theory, guys. This is not an explosion at all. This is not an explosion at all. Okay? Yes, I can call it an exploding tree here, poking fun at the USBS. Poking fun at the USBS here. Because that's what it is BS. This is an earthquake over here on the northeast side of the lake here. On the northeast side of the lake here. It is not an explosion. Not an explosion at all. 1.6 tremor here. Over here on the southeast side of Oregon. Or I'm sorry, northeast side of Oregon right here. Northeast side of Oregon here. Okay? Then we go north. Up here. Goldendale, Washington. 1.2 tremor. That's interesting enough. Guess what, guys? Guess what? This is basaltic lava here. This is all basaltic lava here. Anybody live in this area? Farming or ranching in this area? They had, if they dug anything, they've dug into volcanic rock here, basaltic rock here. Dug into basaltic rock. Why? Guess what else we have here? Guess what else we have here? Number one, we have Mount Hood down here to the south. Over here, guess what we have? Guess what we have? Mount Adams right here. We also have Mount St. Helens here. Mount St. Helens. They're not showing any earthquakes at all here at Mount Adams. There are earthquakes here. They're not showing them. They're showing us one lousy microquake here. A 0.1 microquake here in the summit area of Mount St. Helens. I'm here to tell you there is more than just a 1.3 tremor here or a 0.1 microquake here at Mount St. Helens. Dozens and dozens of microquakes here at Mount St. Helens. We have tremors here at Mount St. Helens. We have minor earthquakes here at Mount St. Helens. USGS is not showing us anything like that at all. They're showing us one earthquake here west of Mount St. Helens here. The 0.7 microquake. This time 21 kilometers southeast of Castle Rock, Washington. Interesting. Very interesting. 0.7 microquake here at Castle Rock, Washington. But not anywhere near it, 21 kilometers east-southeast of Castle Rock, Washington. They're not showing any earthquakes or anything whatsoever at Mount Rainier. That's false. That's false. That's lies, guys. I'm going to show you in a minute a lot of earthquakes here at Mount Rainier. A few minutes ago, we had 21 people here watching our program, allegedly. Now we have 14. Terrible. Terrible. Over here east of Tacoma, Washington. Mortonberry, Dale Hill, Washington. A 1.0 tremor here. 1.0 tremor here. East of Seattle here. Supposedly a surface quake. A 0.0 surface quake. 7 kilometers northeast of Snoqualmie, Washington. That's interesting. This is not a surface quake at all. This is 4.1 kilometers deep. Over 2 miles deep here. 2 miles deep. This is not a surface quake at all. Unreal. Unreal what they wanted to get away with here. Let's go up here into northwest Washington near the border. The border with Vancouver, Washington here. Again, they're saying we have a 2.2 earthquake here. 2.2 earthquake here, 9 kilometers southwest of White Rock, Canada. This is in Washington. This earthquake is in Washington. In Washington, guys. North of Gray Harbor, Washington. North of Oak Harbor, Washington, that you see here. See Oak Harbor? Gray Harbor area here? This is a 2.2 earthquake here in the Puget Sound region of Washington. Up here to the northwest here. Tuswassa, Canada. 1.5 tremor, 3 kilometers west of Tuswassa, Canada. Also in the northern Puget Sound region. Interesting. Interesting. There are all kinds of earthquakes all over this region. And USGS not saying one word about them. Not one word about them. That's hogwash. That is doggy muffins. Cow muffins, as Colonel Potter and Mash said. Cow muffins. Incredible. Guys, we have earthquakes here. We have earthquakes here. Now, I'm not going to show you all the earthquakes I have documented here, but I am going to show you a number of earthquakes here. I'm going to show you a number of earthquakes here because it's necessary. We want to show you what's going on. We want to show you all kinds of earthquakes here, guys. All kinds of earthquakes here. This is Mount Baker. This is Mount Baker, Canada, just south of Canada. South of the border with Canada. Look what we have here. We're showing you tremors here. We're showing you tremors here, guys. Tremors during the nighttime. Also earthquakes here as well. Look at that. Tremors, minor earthquakes here. After 02 a.m. this morning, 02 a.m. over on the left-hand side of this red line, we go over here to the right. This would be 2:14 a.m. this morning. 2.4 earthquake here. 2.4 earthquake here at Mount Baker early this morning. Then we come down here later this morning and into the early afternoon here. Late this morning, early afternoon here. Look at this. More tremors here. More tremors here. Three o'clock this morning, tremors here. Actually, that's 8 o'clock. After 8 o'clock this morning, that tremor there, right below that red barrier there. This black earthquake here on the right-hand side here. This is after 10:13 a.m. 10:13 a.m. this morning, we have a 2.7 earthquake. 2.7 earthquake here at Mount Baker. Mount Baker this morning. Now, guess what? We've also had a lot of other minor tremors here, but after 3 p.m. this afternoon, about 3:07 this afternoon, we had a 2.7, 2.8 earthquake here. 2:07 this afternoon, we had a 2.7, 2.8 earthquake here at Mount Baker. At Mount Baker. USGS is not showing it, are they? They don't want to be part of this. They don't want anybody to know what's going on here at Mount Baker or any of the volcanoes or anywhere else. The volcanoes are moving, guys. The volcanoes are moving. This is Mount Baker. Let me show you another seismogram here from Mount Baker. The next seismogram I'm going to show you is the magma coming into the volcano here. This is from the ski resort on the north side of Mount Baker called Shuksan Ski Resort. Shuksan Ski Resort, Shuksan Ski Resort. Shuksan Ski Resort. Look at these curvy lines here. These curvy lines are VLF waves. Very low frequency waves here caused by magma coming into the magma chamber here at the volcanoes. VLF waves caused by the magma coming into the volcanoes here. This is the point here. Phoenix Design Guy says it's not abnormal. What is your point? This is normal. USGS not showing what's going on here. They don't want anybody to know that these volcanoes are active. These volcanoes are having earthquakes. And quite honestly, earlier last night, near the top of this seismogram, these VLF waves are very active. They've been more active in the past, but these VLF waves are still active. That means there was more than just tremors happening here last night. More than just tremors happening here last night. But again, they're not going to show it to us because they don't want us to understand what's going on here. I want you to understand. Mount Baker is a very active volcano. Mount Baker could also erupt. It's an active volcano. Mount Baker has been steaming as well. Here, late morning, early afternoon. Look at the VLF waves here. Look at these VLF waves here, guys. These VLF waves show magma coming into the magma chamber here. This afternoon here, the VLF waves are very active here, showing more and more magma pouring into Mount Baker. This is normal. This is completely normal. But this stuff here, where it's not very active, magma just doesn't stop. Magma just doesn't stop. Sometimes it'll slow down a little bit, but magma does not stop that often. They're not wanting to show us exactly what's going on here. I believe they've tampered with the seismographs. They turn down the seismograph when they leave at night to go home. Then they turn it back up when they come back to work. That's when we see what is actually going on here this afternoon. When they turned up the seismograph this morning after they come back to work. All of a sudden, that's when we see earthquakes. That's when we see seismic activity happening here because there's magma flowing into the volcano here. Magma flowing into the volcano here. That is Mount Baker up here, just north of the Canadian border, just south of the Canadian border here. Now, I want to go south here to Glacier Peak, 40 miles southwest of Mount Baker here. Glacier Peak here. This is last night and early this morning. Magma flowing into the volcano here at Glacier Peak. Now, guys, there is only one seismograph here monitoring Glacier Peak. All the other volcanoes have anywhere from 10 to 15 seismographs on the mountain. Glacier Peak has one. Glacier Peak is also a very active volcano. They were supposed to have 5 other seismographs here on the volcano also this year, by this year. The environmentalists in Washington state have been protesting the scientists to keep them from putting up more seismographs here on the mountain. They say it's going to disturb. They say it's going to disturb the marmots here on the mountain. Once the scientists get through installing the seismographs, they only visit the seismographs maybe once or twice a year total. The marmots would not be that disturbed. People hike through the mountains here. If people are hiking through the mountains, including the environmentalists, they're already disturbing the marmots here on Glacier Peak. Having seismographs on this mountain is not going to disturb anybody. Only the environmentalists. Only the environmentalists. Again, what you're seeing, the VLF waves here, is magma coming into Mount Glacier Peak here today. And an earthquake here. An earthquake here this morning. Just after 8:15, probably 8:18, 8:19 this morning. 2.4, 2.5 earthquake this morning. Just after 8. Then after 10 o'clock on the black line, over here to the right, probably 10:13. Another 2.5 earthquake here. Another 2.5 earthquake here. Interesting, huh? Then more tremors here. Lots more tremors here. But we've had at least this 2.4 here, and this 2.5, 2.6 up here just after 8:15 this morning. Earthquakes here at Glacier Peak. Okay? They want to tell us nothing's going on. Really? Show us what is going on at the mountains in reality. Show us what's going on at the volcanoes in reality. Now, before I go down to Mount Rainier, I want to show you what's happening in Grays Harbor, Washington. Grays Harbor, Washington. This is a seismogram here showing the seismic activity here at Grays Harbor, Washington. Look at this, guys. All these are tremors here that are happening at Grays Harbor. Seismic tremors here, literally all day long. Some of this is harmonic tremors, meaning the ground vibrating here at Grays Harbor, Washington. The magma is coming off the Pacific Ocean here, going through magma tunnels here, probably either headed for either Glacier Peak or Mount Rainier. I don't know. But here, the magma is going through magma tunnels in the crust of the earth that we walk on, here near Grays Harbor, causing these tremors and these harmonic earthquakes here, harmonic tremors. That's what's happening here. And yes, occasionally we will have a 2.0 earthquake here as well. such as we see just after 1:15 actually about 1:20 a.m. this morning. You see a 2.0, 2.2 earthquake here. We also see a lot of tremors here as well. Tons of small, tiny tremors. Then later on this morning, more tremors, more 2.0 earthquakes here as well. Look at that. More tremors and 2.0 earthquakes here. Interesting, huh? This area is active. If they want to tell us what's going on in Washington, show the 2.0 earthquakes. Yes, they are showing microquakes at some of these volcanoes, but there's a lot more going on at these volcanoes than just microquakes. There's a lot more things going on land here west of the volcanoes than just microquakes that they're showing us here. A lot more activity. A lot more activity. Now I'm going to show you Mount St. Helens now. Mount St. Helens now. Okay. This Mount St. Helens last night. This St. Helens last night. This is coming from the seismograph sitting on top of the volcano, sitting on top of the summit of Mount St. Helens. It's called East Dome Mount St. Helens. Look at this. Yes, we are showing tremors here, but after 2215 hours, that's 1015 hours on this red line here. Right here, this is probably 1018 right here. Guys, this is last night. This is the 2.6, 2.7 earthquake here at Mount St. Helens. They showed a microquake at Mount St. Helens. Minor earthquakes here, Mount St. Helens. Then we come over here to actually that was 2318. That was 11:18 p.m. last night. Then we come down here to 000 hours, which is midnight on this black line. This is another 2.6, 2.7 earthquake. 2.6, 2.7 earthquake. Then more tremors here. More tremors here. Then we come over here to late morning. More tremors here as well. Then this afternoon here. This afternoon. On the black line here on the left-hand side would be 2 p.m. Over here on the right, this is about 2:14 p.m. this afternoon. 2.0 earthquake. 2.0 minor earthquake. And lots of tremors here. Mount St. Helens, East Dome Mount St. Helens. Tremors and minor earthquakes here, guys. USGS says nothing happened. They showed one microquake, that's all. There are tons of microquakes here. There are tons of minor earthquakes as well. Mount St. Helens is active. St. Helens is active, guys. I don't care what USGS says. Now I'm going to another seismograph sitting on top of the mountain. Sitting on the top of Mount St. Helens. This is called September Lobe. September Lobe is a spider of sorts. The seismograph sits on steel or very sturdy aluminum legs. They say it looks like a spider sitting on legs. Here this last night, this seismograph at September Lobe was called BFCC01. This is showing us magma coming into the magma chamber here at Mount St. Helens. Prior to 4 months ago, when the USGS started this new system of seismographs, they showed us a lot more magma coming into the magma chamber of these volcanoes than they're showing us today. A lot more magma in the past than they showed us today. I believe they're doctoring these seismographs. I've been monitoring these volcanoes and monitoring Washington, Oregon, and California, and Arizona, and Mexico, and all over the world for the last 6.5 years. I've been monitoring what's going on. As I have been doing that, the United States Geological Survey and the Pacific Northwest Seismic Network have been negligent, not showing the activity. I believe they've doctored the seismograms where they're not showing almost anything going on. Nothing. Very little of anything going on last night into this morning. Then late this morning and early afternoon, look at this. More and more magma coming in the magma chamber here. Why? Because all of a sudden the seismologists come to work. They turn up the seismograph so it records activity. At night when they leave, they turn it down. They come back in the morning and turn it back up. They don't want to take responsibility for that stuff that happens when they're gone. This pretty much proves that theory. That pretty much proves that theory. They'll deny it, but this proves it. Look at these BL waves here, guys. As I said in the past, years past, on this particular seismogram especially, the September lobe seismogram, the BDFCC01 seismogram, this seismogram showed us a lot of magma pouring into Mount St. Helens all the time. Now they're showing very little. We're showing very, very little here. Mount St. Helens is getting ready to move. It's getting ready to move. It's steaming. Yes, we have earthquakes here. We have earthquakes here. But again, USGS not wanting to admit what's going on here. They don't want to put the earthquakes on the map because then they'd have to admit what they're not doing. They're not showing earthquakes happening here at the volcanoes or anywhere else. Nothing. Not a thing. Going back down south into northern Oregon, Mount Hood. Mount Hood, guys. This particular channel here shows magma coming into Mount Hood. The VLF waves here are showing magma coming into Mount Hood. This is the HHN channel here at Mount Hood. At Mount Hood. Okay? Look at the magma coming in here to Mount Hood. Then they turn it down for the night. Then all they're showing here are harmonic waves. Magma creating harmonic waves causing vibration in the volcano. Lightly vibrating the volcano here. Harmonic waves. Harmonic waves. Then just as soon as the seismologists return to work, all of a sudden we have these VLF waves again. Look at this active volcanic waves here, these VLF waves. Guys, this would tell us, this should tell us we have earthquakes here at Mount Hood this afternoon. This should tell us we have active earthquakes here at Mount Hood today, this afternoon. Let me show you another seismogram from Mount Hood today. It's interesting to note. Interesting note. The next one I'm going to show you is a seismograph coming from the seismograph that's halfway up the southern side of Mount Hood. This seismograph sits at Palmer Lift, which is a ski resort. A ski resort here at Mount Hood. Last night, look at all these earthquakes here at Mount Hood. Look at all these earthquakes. Look at these blobs here. These are blobs of magma that come into the volcano and they're causing earthquakes here. Magma coming into the volcano is causing earthquakes. Why? As magma comes into the volcano, it's fracturing rock inside the volcanic chamber, causing earthquakes and tremors as well. In this case, late last night after 8 o'clock, we see 2.2 and 2.0 earthquakes here, and tremors as well. Then after 10:15 on the red line here, we're seeing a 2.0 earthquake, a bunch of tremors. Then we see a 2.6, 2.7 earthquake, a bunch of tremors, another 2.6, 2.7 earthquake here at Mount Hood, Palmer Lift at the ski resort. Then more tremors. Then all of a sudden, the seismologists leave for the night. They turn down the seismograph. They turn it down. What the seismograph is showing us now is only because the seismologists may have returned back to work this morning. 8 a.m. this morning, on the black line here, tremors. Tremors, guys. More tremors. And microquakes after that. Then on this next black line here, after 10 a.m. this morning, just after 10 a.m. this morning, 2.6, 2.7 earthquake again. Interesting. Mount Hood has minor earthquakes. And they have microquakes as well. Look at all these microquakes and minor tremors. Look at all these microquakes and minor tremors here. All throughout the rest of the day here at Palmer Lift, at the ski resort. Let's go down to Timberline at Government Camp. The Timberline seismograph sits at Government Camp. The Government Camp is a office sitting at the bottom southern side of Mount Hood. Has a ranger there during the daytime. People can go over here to Mount Hood and check in with the ranger. They want to camp here on Mount Hood or go out hiking Mount Hood. Here on the Government Camp seismograph at the southern base of Mount Hood, we're seeing tremors here. Tremors here and minor earthquakes late last night. Late last night, guys. Early this morning. 2:15 this morning. Making the earthquakes go through this electronic turndown of the seismograph. The ranger probably left about 7, 8 o'clock, turned down the seismograph. So these earthquakes that we're seeing here after 2:15 a.m. this morning survived the turndown and maybe were larger earthquakes than they're showing here. We're seeing 2.0, 2.2 earthquakes here. They may have been larger than this because they survived the turndown of the electronics here at Government Camp. Look at this seismic activity early this morning. Then we come over here later this morning. All of a sudden, we still have tremors going here. 8 a.m., we're seeing 2.0 earthquakes again. Tremors and 2.0 earthquakes here. Then here, on this black line here, 1500 hours on the left-hand side. This is probably 3:04, 3:05 p.m. this afternoon. 2.5, 2.6 earthquake here at Mount Hood, at the base of Mount Hood. 2.5, 2.6 earthquake here at the base of Mount Hood. That really tells you what's going on. All the USGS was showing us was a microquake here at Mount Hood. That tells us what's really going on. USGS still not telling us the truth what's happening here at Mount Hood or anywhere else. Nowhere else, guys. You're not going to find anything else but us telling you what's actually happening here at the volcanoes or anywhere else. Now, also to the east of Mount Hood is another seismograph sitting at Yakima. Yakima is another peak near east of Mount Hood. The Yakima seismograph sitting at Yakima, Washington. Another peak east of Mount Hood. Look what we're showing you here. This is last night, after 10:15 last night. Just a tiny tremor. After that, the scientist turns down the seismograph almost off. All we're showing you here are microquakes, maybe one tremor here in Yakima, Washington. Look at this afternoon, late this morning, early this afternoon. Nothing. Not a thing. Not a thing, guys. Interesting to know. The scientists came back and went back to work. They didn't turn up the seismograph in Yakima, Washington. Yakima, not Yakima, Washington, Yakima, Oregon, at Mount Hood. Didn't turn it up. Why not? Why not? Why not? Loomy, Washington. Loomy, Washington here. This is Grays. This is just south of Grays Harbor in the Puget Sound region. Last night, yes, we had some 2.0, 2.2 earthquakes here. We had a ton of tremors here as well. Okay? Just after 8:30 this last night, probably 8:04 last night, 2.0 earthquake and a bunch of tremors. After 8 p.m. over here on the right-hand side, probably 8:12 last night, 2.0 earthquake. Then over here later this evening, later last night. Actually, this is early this morning, after 1 a.m. this morning. Probably 1:04 this morning. 2.0 earthquake here. Made its way through the electronic turndown here at Loomy Island here. Then we come down here to later this morning. All of a sudden this morning, 12 noon, tremor finally. Prior to that, all we're having are microquakes. Tremor here after 12 noon. Then over here after 12 noon here on the black line here. Maybe 12:04 this afternoon. All of a sudden here, we have a 2.5, 2.6 earthquake here. Loomy Island. Loomy Island. But USGS did not show this on the map. They don't do that. They're not showing us any of the tremors either. But what happened here this evening? 5:15 this afternoon, this evening. 2.7, 2.8 earthquake here. Loomy Island, Washington this evening. 2.7 earthquake here this evening. Why did they not show it here on the USGS map? Inquiring minds want to know. We have the right to know. They're not showing it to us. What I'm telling you is this. I've shown you earthquakes at the volcanoes. I've shown you tremors at the volcanoes. I've shown you tremors and earthquakes throughout Washington so far and into Oregon as well. They're not showing any of these on the map. Heaven forbid. Guys, if you guys live in Oregon and Washington, you need to get your preparedness kits in order. You need to get your preparedness kits in order. Number one, Mount St. Helens and Mount Rainier are gearing up for an eruption. USGS is downgrading the details. They're turning down the seismographs that don't show reality anymore. Prior to this year, we showed you a lot more earthquakes at the volcanoes, a lot more VLF waves at the volcanoes showing magma coming into the volcanoes. Now they're showing very little. Yes, they're showing some activity, but they're showing still very little. Both of those volcanoes are preparing to erupt again. The last time Mount St. Helens erupted was 2003. It's gearing up again. 23 years later. 23 years later. Gearing up again. Loomy Island, Washington. Ocean Shores, Washington. Seashore, Oregon. Gerhardt, Oregon, along the shoreline of Oregon as well. I'm telling you guys, we are having earthquakes. We are having earthquakes, guys. Here's Ocean Shores, Washington this afternoon and late this morning. Earthquakes, guys. Tremors and minor earthquakes here. Look at this last night. Right before the scientists leave, we had tremors here. They'd already turned it down, but they turned it down right quiet before they left. Then silence almost all night long. All of a sudden they come back and we have earthquakes again. 2.5, 2.6 earthquakes, 2.0, 2.4 earthquakes, all over here, and a lot of tremors as well. Guys, this is a shoreline in northern Washington. The shoreline in northern Washington. It's moving. It's moving. This is Pacific Rim, Washington. Cooteville, Washington. These are harmonic tremors here. Harmonic tremors caused by magma. Magma along the shoreline going through magma tunnels headed for the volcanoes. Look at that. Harmonic tremors and minor tremors as well. Look at this, guys. This is real. All night and all day long. All night and all day long, all the time. Okay? Let me show you Seaside, Oregon. Seaside, Oregon, guys. Look at all this activity here. Before the seismologists left to go home, they turned down the seismograph. All we're seeing here are tiny tremors that work their way through the electronic turndown of the machine. They turned down the doggone machine. Then this morning, guess what happened? They came back to work. All of a sudden, we're not just seeing tremors here, we're actually seeing some earthquakes as well. Guys, I did not put up the tremor map. The tremor map does not show all these tremors either. There are hundreds of tremors here in Seaside, Oregon. There are tremors and minor earthquakes all over Oregon and Washington. I've proven that tonight. The USGS is not being honest with anybody. Why am I telling you this? Why am I showing you this? Going through all kinds of grief, all kinds of work to show you this information. I am trying to show you this so you guys will wake up. So you guys will make sure that you're putting preparedness kits together for you and your family. You're writing preparedness plans for you and your family. You're putting together preparedness kits for you and your family. Putting together food in your pantry. Food in your preparedness kit. putting together a medical kit for you and your family, including prescription drugs you might be taking. You need to have those. You need to have those in order to survive. You have a medical kit as well. I have a full-blown EMT first aid kit because I was an EMT police officer. I have a full-blown EMT first aid kit here for Carol and I, or for our kids or anybody else that shows up here. I can maybe help save people's lives here. Guys, these earthquakes are not just happening in Washington, Oregon, or California. They're happening across the planet. I've shown you earthquakes in the Philippines. I've shown you earthquakes over in Indonesia. I've shown you earthquakes in Japan, South and Central America, Mexico. We have earthquakes in Greece as well. Earthquakes all over Europe. They'll never tell you that because they would rather show you nothing's going on like they do. They're not showing one single earthquake in Europe at all. Nothing. They're showing one earthquake today on the USGS map south of Crete, Greece. South of Crete, Greece. That's a shame. That's a shame. There are over 60 earthquakes in Greece alone. 60 earthquakes more in central and northern Greece than anywhere else. But even one minor earthquake just south of Crete, Greece, in the ocean, in the eastern Mediterranean. Incredible. There are earthquakes in Spain and also in Portugal. Earthquakes in the Azores. Tremors and minor earthquakes over in the Canary Islands. In Iceland. In England. In Sweden, Norway, and Denmark. And Finland. Switzerland and France. USGS will now show you they're too lame. They want everybody to believe nothing's going on. Sad but true. Now, if you want to help support this channel, near the bottom of your screen here, you see two PayPal addresses scrolling through the bottom of your screen. Please go over there and help support this program by donating to our PayPal here. We'd appreciate it. I've not seen one single super chat here today. Last night, Heidi Peck gave us a $50 super chat. Guys, we need more than just Heidi Pedrick supporting this program here. My cousin Donna and her husband Gregory sent us $50 to our PayPal a week and a half ago. I want to thank Donna and Gregory for doing that. We appreciate that so much. Guys, we paid $258 a month for bandwidth to broadcast this channel. Just to broadcast this channel. Not paying for any work that I do. Not paying anybody else to help me do that work. Yes, I have paid other people to help me in the past. I'd like to do that again. But I don't have the money anymore. Guys, it takes money to make money. I understand that. I understand everything's hard for everybody. But guys, we need more people than just Heidi and my cousin, Don and Gregory, to support this channel. We'd appreciate that very much, guys. Also, you see our address here scrolling across the bottom of your screen. 504 Bethel Road, Box 401. Morganton, North Carolina. Zip code here is 28655. We've got a card here about a week and a half ago from Laura and her husband, John. We appreciate that. They sent us a gift card and a card. We appreciate that very much, Laura and John. God bless you for that. God bless all of you for helping support our channel. But guys, we need help. We really need help. Inside a letter or card you can send us, put a check or even cash inside that letter and card and send it to us. It can happen. Other people have done that before. We'd appreciate it very much. You see our email address scrolling across the bottom of your screen. Send us your comments, send us your questions, send us ideas what you'd like to see on this channel, and we'll do it. Send it over to our email. We'll do it, guys. If you have any concerns, send it to us. We'd love to see it. Please do that, guys. Also, after we get off this program tonight, just below this video you see here, YouTube will put up a comment section after our video is over. Send us positive comments here. Send us positive comments here, guys. We'd appreciate it. Also, please, guys, I see 12 people watching here and 1 thumbs up so far. We probably have more than 1 thumbs up. Before you leave here, guys, please give us a thumbs up because YouTube uses those thumbs up as one of the analytical factors to ascertain whether they're going to even allow anybody else here on YouTube to see our work, to see this program. Also, the number of people that are watching this program, YouTube also looks at. That's one of the other analytical factors. And also the time you spend here watching this program. The amount of time you spend watching this program, the number of people watching this program, the number of likes as well. Also, number of chats here, number of super chats, and the number of comments as well. Likes as well, guys. I appreciate that. Thank you for that. Now, as we go down to the end of this program, I'm going over to the New Testament tonight. I want to go over to Hebrews chapter 2. Hebrews chapter 2. Here, Christ is preaching to us. Jesus came to suffer death and save men. He came to make reconciliation for the sins of the people. Chapter 2, verse 6. But in one certain place testified, saying, what is man, that thou art mindful of him? Or the Son of Man, that thou visitest him? This is a hymn. This is a hymn in our synagogues, in our churches throughout the world. What is man that thou art mindful of him? Or the Son of Man, that visitest him? Thou madest him a little lower than the angels. Thou crownest him with glory and honor, and didst set him over the works of thy hands. Thou hast put all things in subjection under his feet. For in that he put in subjection under him, he left nothing that is not put under him. But now we see not yet all things put under him. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ put us under him. He died for our sins. He made it our capability to be able to die and resurrect. He forgave our sins. He made it possible for us to return to heaven. He made it possible for all of us to return to heaven. Remember that. For in that he himself has suffered being tempted by the devil and tempted by those Sadducees and Pharisees of the day. He did that for us. He did that for us, brothers and sisters. Think of that. Think of that. I love Jesus Christ. I preach and teach Jesus Christ. Guys, I ask all of you, if you love Jesus Christ and love your countries, turn your lives back to Jesus Christ. That will help your countries grow. That will help your countries move closer to the second coming of Jesus Christ and preparation for his return. He's coming. He's coming, and it is sooner than we all think. Guys, if anything else happens tonight or tomorrow, we'll be back here on the air to tell you about it. as soon as the information becomes available. Tomorrow morning between 10 and 11 a.m., we're going to do members only visit. We're going to have members only meeting. Those people, the members of this program, please join us here between 10 and 11 o'clock tomorrow morning for members only meeting. Come with your questions, come with your ideas on what you want to see in this channel. Come with heaven. Come with things of Jesus Christ. I'd be happy to talk of things of Jesus Christ with you in our members only meeting. Now may God bless you this night. May God's Spirit guide and direct you and your families. We love you. We love you guys. We love you all very much. Have a good night and a better tomorrow. As I said, if anything happens tonight, we'll be back on the air to tell you about it as soon as the information becomes available. Until then, have a good night. Subscribe to our channel. Also, like, share, and even help us here. Help us keep this channel in the air. God be with you until we meet again. We'll see you on the other side. Take care, everybody. God bless. See you soon. Good night.
Here at Emergency Management Associates, we're dedicated and true, bringing you the essential knowledge, helping you see things through. From disaster preparedness to navigating recovery's embrace, we're here to guide you in every unpredictable time and place. Complex, make it easy to grasp and absorb, sharing strategies for safety, the vital lessons you can't afford to hoard, So thank you for watching, and thank you so much for your sub. You're a key part of our growing family, a member of our knowledge club. With every like, every share, and every comment you send our way, our critical message spreads further, helping more people every single day. Together we're stronger and more prepared. That's the truth we all abide. You help us build resilience with nowhere for uncertainty to hide. Your engagement truly inspires us. Your feedback acts as a guiding light, helping us continually grow and making our channel's future bright.